Right then, it's 19 minutes past 11. It's Friday, and you know what happens on a Friday. There are a load of brand new movies that come out, and this is where I enlist the help of movie critic Van Connor, because he gets to see all of them before reverse. He's on red carpets pretty much every day of the week. And he comes on the show to talk about the ones which are worth going to see and which ones are best avoided. So please welcome back to the show, movie critic Van Connor. Good morning, Van.
Good morning, Mr. Hey, I've got a yellow carpet this week. I wasn't expecting that.
Oh, yes, you did.
Yeah.
You did.
Yeah, instead of a red carpet, we got bright yellow because Marvel and Thunderbolts. That was a change.
I did see your social media stories on that one. It did look like you had quite a lot of fun there, to be quite honest.
Well, they let me in a room with Florence Pugh. I mean, that was like a highlight of my life.
We all love Florence Pugh. Right, so this week there are two movies that you want to cover. We're going to look at Den of Thieves 2 in a moment, but let's dive straight into In the Lost Lands, Van. Talk to us about this one.
Right. Before we start talking about Lost Lands, I just want to say, you said films that I want to cover. Nobody in their right mind would ever want to cover In the Lost Lands. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So, new movie based on a short story by Game of Thrones author George R.R. Martin. And that is about the end of anything of note and quality in this. So, it stars Mila Jovovich and Dave Bautista, who clearly has a mortgage to pay this month. And it's co-written and directed by Resident Evil, Event Horizon, Soldier, Death Race, and Three Musketeers director Paul W.S. Anderson.
Wow.
Of those films I just mentioned, probably about 2 of them are good. So, not a great hit record. The man has made like 15 movies, 2 of them are good. This takes place in some post-apocalyptic magic world, like it was our world, and then there's post-apocalypse, but it's magic. And Mila Jovovich is a witch who is asked by the Queen to venture into the quote-unquote Lost Lands to recover a power that will allow her to change into animals. And despite the fact that Mila Jovovich's witch character is from these Lost Lands, apparently she needs to hire Dave Bautista as a protector and guide. I don't know why you'd need guiding to your own home, but we all know what it's like when you move house. You know when you move house and you visit someone who lives there? Kind of like, I'd imagine it's kind of like that. They've redecorated.
Right.
Anyway, it's absolute gubbins. Here's a clip.
Some say you came from the Lost Lands, and that you know the things that live there. Dark, unnatural things.
Is this what you want from me? To tell you fairy tales?
I want from you the power to become a beast, Grey Alice. To be more than human. Does that shock you?
I've seen too much to be shocked so easily.
So you can sell me the secret of shape-shifting. To a wolf?
See, I love a good sci-fi, but I just feel like this one would be too complicated for me to keep up with, and I'd get bored with it.
It's not even sci-fi. It is more, like I said, the George R.R. Martin connection and Sestos. This is more in the realm of fantasy, like dragons and monsters kind of fantasy.
Okay.
And, spells and wizards.
Never-ending story.
Yeah, kind of like that. If it was set in the world of the forgotten 2009 Paul Bettany action, A Priest, which a friend of mine who saw this movie before me compared to this movie too, and I was like, no, Priest was one of the worst movies of the year it was released in, and is still effortlessly better than this absolute bilge, this complete tripe that goes on for an hour and 41 minutes, feels longer than literally any Christopher Nolan movie. You know, the ones that push the 3-hour mark, feels longer than a Nolan movie. Like Oppenheimer felt like a 90-minute rom-com compared to this. You can't see most of it. It's all shot against awful green screen work and then tinted sepia to try and smooth over the cracks. So it kind of, they think that it makes it blend, but it doesn't. It really doesn't. The writing is terrible. The performances are garbage. And do you know what? I'm sorry, Paul, I love Event Horizon. I love Soldier. But buddy, just because you got a hot wife, that's not enough to hang a movie on, let alone yet another movie. He keeps doing this. Monster Hunter was only about a year and a half ago, and again, it was the same thing. Look, we've not got much of a script, we've not got much of a film, but isn't my wife hot? Sure, Paul, but we've all known this for 3 decades. That's not a film career.
So when are you going to see it again, then?
Oh, I'll give it a watch. I'll give it a revisit this afternoon.
Well, if you want to see In the Lost Lands,
this one's on digital.
See it on Amazon Prime, isn't it? Yeah, it came out on there. So
no, this one's just straight digital. They aren't even getting the Amazon pedigree on this. No, this is just dumped to digital stores on Monday, exactly where it belongs.
Right, okay. The next one we're going to look at, you can watch, if you already subscribe to Netflix, you can watch it for free, essentially.
Prime on this one.
Oh, this is Prime. I don't know what I'm talking about.
This one's Prime. Yeah.
Right, this one is out on Prime. I think I've got them mixed around in the wrong order. So, Den of Thieves 2, Prime. Again, if you already subscribed to Prime, it's essentially free for you to watch this weekend. So let's find out if Den of Thieves 2 is worth watching. What did you think of it, Van?
First of all, I thought this is like one of my 10 favourite movies of this year so far. I absolutely love this. So, Den of Thieves, Pantera, or Den of Thieves 2, Pantera. The title refers to the Panther Mafia out of Europe. The first movie, if you never saw it, was effectively a Gerard Butler version of Heat. Yeah. Of the movie Heat, the Michael Mann movie. This sequel is effectively Gerard Butler's version of Ronin, which means because it's Gerard Butler and he's broing out with O'Shea Jackson Jr., we can effectively call this Ronin. So, this time around, Big Nick, Gerard Butler's cop, has been fired. He is disgraced following the events of the first movie. He follows the escaping robber, O'Shea Jackson Jr., who is Donnie, follows him to Europe, where he is continuing his criminal career. And instead of trying to bring him in, this time around, Big Nick, one of the most fun characters you'll see on a cinema screen for quite some time, decides, the hell with it. I'm going to join the team. And cop becomes crim, and the heist is afoot. This time, we're robbing the world's most secure diamond exchange, in which the room is covered by 127 cameras and motion sensors and thermal scanners and all this stuff. And yeah, this time, it's in France. Have a listen. This is them scouting the robbery.
You watching?
Yep.
Been clocking those dudes for weeks. Those dogs can hunt.
Yeah. This is gonna be interesting.
You feeling it?
Yeah, I'm feeling it.
And the cop goes gangster.
Oh, see, this sounds amazing. Right up my street. I really like the sound of this movie.
This is such good fun,
yeah.
Isn't it? Like, it's a great sort of bit of chemistry between O'Shea Jackson Jr. and Gerard Butler. Unlike the first one, though, this one puts more of a heavy emphasis on the character moments. So there are prolonged sequences in which you're just following Gerard Butler hanging out in Europe, being rude to French people, which, to be fair, is so entertaining. I would watch an entire movie of that and actually sack off the entire diamond heist. And the diamond heist is still tons of fun. So I wasn't bored for a single moment. This is about 2.5 hours long. It's not a short film.
Yeah.
But, oh my God, the action's great. The heists are thrilling. The references to Ronin, like I say, Bronin, are plentiful and on the nose. And I just really love this character. Gerard Butler is so much fun as Big Nick. I hope we get a third one. I want to see Den of Thieves, as I hope they call it. Just please call it Den of Thieves with the number. Please,
bet they won't.
Bet they won't. They won't. But very slick, very cool. If I have one complaint, and this is such a minor complaint, it's that the first movie ends with a song called Legendary by Welshly Arms, and it's so perfect an ending to the first movie. This movie ends with another song, but it's not that one. And I couldn't help but think, why didn't you try and pull a Jason Bourne and end every one of these with that song? You know, that like Bourne has Extreme Ways.
Yeah.
Like, why could this not have been your Extreme Ways? It would have been so badass. But no, they did not. However, that is the only black mark I could put against an otherwise pretty flawless trash actioner. And even then, I don't actually think it's that trashy, other than the fact that it stars Gerard Butler. This is watch it, you will love it, Adam, honestly.
Well, there you go. When the kids or grandkids are in bed this weekend, search for Den of Thieves 2, and you can enjoy. And you've got it from Van's, personal experience that it's a really, really decent movie to watch. So, you're back next week. What's out? What are we looking forward to?
We've got a new Marvel movie next week, buddy.
Oh, yes.
We're getting anti-heroic next week. We're not assembling Avengers this time. We're assembling Thunderbolts next week. So, you know what? we get to talk about Florence Pugh and David Harbour. What's not to love?
And of course, Florence Pugh has a huge connection to Oxford with her dad. And
I think the family were at the premiere, by the way.
Oh, were they there when you were there?
I think she brought them all onto the yellow carpet. Sorry, I think they were all there with her.
Ah, amazing. Well, we'll see what you thought to that movie on Friday next week. Until then, Van, have a lovely weekend. All right.
Till the next time, my good stuff.
Speak to you Friday. Right. It's 11.